You're listening to Navid Moosa of The Mindset Movement. Hey guys, Navid Moosa here from NavidMoosa.com and The Mindset Movement podcast. Today is part 3 of a 4-part series for the Q&A session. If you have not been following, this is your first time, I did basically a small intimate setting with a group of investors, both seasoned and aspiring, and they wanted to just ask me a bunch of questions in real estate and life overall in my journey. So I answered them, and I basically spoke about that in the first 4 parts. And then this part here, these 4 parts is going to be broken down into the Q&A session. This is part 3 of 4 for the Q&A session. Hope you guys enjoy it. Yes, sir.
So that was a great story, and I appreciate you sharing that with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
One of the things that I'm asking these speakers to do, which Navid nailed, is they're putting their life out there. They're being vulnerable. They're talking about things that they're not necessarily proud of at the moment that it happens, but now they can kind of wear it as a badge because they've taken some lessons from it. So I appreciate you being vulnerable for that. You touched on a lot of things, and I know we have limited time, but you've also got other businesses that you're doing. But the one thing I wanted to talk or to ask you about was, so every one of us, we have bad days. Right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes we have a series of bad days. And sometimes those bad days turns into weeks, and sometimes they turn into months. Right?
Yeah.
And me personally, I don't speak for anybody else, but when I have those days or weeks, I have trouble pulling myself out of that, right? And I think a lot of us do. So I would from your perspective, you've gone through it probably so many times. Mm-hmm. What do you do? How do you know, all right, I'm in a funk?
Yeah.
And then what do you do to say, I got to do this to get out of my funk?
As I stated before, I'm a religious individual. So to me, it was just having a conversation with the man upstairs, right? So when I'm in my funks, I'm in my moods or whatever, the first thing I do is I want to punch a wall. Don't get me wrong, I'm a human being. I want to punch a wall, I want to throw something, I just want to yell and scream and stuff like that. But before I do all that, I legit just take a deep breath. The first thing I do. If I'm in any kind of funk or if I'm feeling anxious or whatever, so I have been hospitalized twice for anxiety attacks. 2 times, okay? Brought on by myself because of the perfection that we want to accomplish, right? So I was hospitalized for that. That taught me breathing. So when I get into a funk, my first thing is just legit, I sit there, I close my eyes, and I just, into the nose, out through the mouth. That's all I do. I just sit there until I feel whatever's here is no longer here. It's really weird, right? We get into a funk and we just feel like there's all this and it's right here. It's nowhere else. We may get a headache, but from your abdomen to your neck, this whole section, we just feel it's just tight and there's something on there. So I just breathe in my nose, out my mouth until that kind of lessens with my eyes closed. Once that lessens, then I open my eyes and I'm like, okay, what am I pissed about? What am I really, really upset about? I'm upset because my investor changed their mind, doesn't want to buy the house. That's happened before. I'm upset because my contractor was supposed to start Monday, is now saying he can't start for another 2 weeks. So he or she's delayed. That's not the first time that's happened. As you start asking your questions of why you're upset and you answer your own questions, you're going to feel everything just slowly come out of your system. And you're really going to realize, Caesar, you woke up today. That's the success. You woke up today. I was asked, what's today? Thursday? Monday. I think Monday. I was asked if I was a success. And I said, yeah. So why do you think that? I said, because I woke up. And guess what? If I don't wake up tomorrow, I'm still a success. You know why? Because I'm the best father and the best husband I could be to my wife and to my kids. So I'm not afraid of death, personally. So when we get caught up in contractors and paychecks and deadlines and permits and all that kind of stuff, don't get me wrong, those things pay the bills and that's our lifeline. But let's be honest, there's people who are not going to wake up tomorrow, unfortunately. They're not. So the fact that I woke up today, when I get upset or anxious, I start asking myself the questions. What am I really upset about? And 90% of the times, and you guys can write this down, 90% of the time, you're upset because of something you know you should have done that you didn't do. You didn't make that phone call to that lead who called you 2 days ago because you were scared they're going to say no to you. So you didn't call them. And that's frustrating you because somebody posted on Instagram that I just locked up a deal, made $45,000 like this, right? And so you're like, shit. And yet you have a boatload of phone numbers here that you don't want to call because you're scared they're going to say what? No. Am I the only person whose room has been rejected? I want to say not. So what, they say no. And so just those kind of things we get our own anxiety about is that we create the anxiety because we're like, what if they say no? If they say no, I can't get a deal. If I can't get a deal, I can't pay this bill. If I can't pay this bill, I'm gonna support. You just go like, whoa, buddy, pump the brakes, pump the brakes. What are you really upset about? So when I get into a funk, first thing I'll recommend to you guys, just breathe. Just breathe. Take a deep breath and ask yourself, what am I really upset? That's the first thing I ask. What am I really upset about? You're going to hear an answer that you probably don't want to hear an answer for because you know that answer is going to make you held accountable for your lack of action that you should be taking. So that's what I do. Alrighty, that's a wrap here for part 3. Remember, we're going to part 3 or 4 for the Q&A session. Join us next week for the final installment of this mini-series for the Q&A with me, and I'll see you guys there. Have a great one.